In terms of your personal journey, what are some of the things that you are thinking about now? And perhaps both you that you're thinking of right thinking. It could be something linked to leadership or discipleship. But also, what are some of the forces that's against you doing what you are hoping to do moving forward? Give us a little bit of a glimpse of a privilege of a glimpse of your life in the next maybe 5 years or so.
My arrogance and my insecurity trips me up. My arrogance to dare think I can accomplish this. There's a very thin line between confidence and arrogance. And it's a tension in my soul in this regard. Without confidence, I can't lead. True confidence comes from God. But because there's a thin line between arrogance and confidence, I don't know when is it arrogant and when is it confident. Then worse, inside my soul there's another factor, another tension, which is insecurity. So I must overcome my insecurity with confidence. But in trying to overcome my insecurity, I can end up arrogant. Then if I don't end up arrogant, then I become insecure. So I get trapped in that. And the antidote to that arrogance and that insecurity is a life that is hidden in Christ. And when I went up to the mountain one day and what the Lord has laid on my heart to do in the next 5 years and beyond, I told him I can't. Oh, if you ask me, do I know the right buttons to push? Yes. Do I have the connections? Yes. Do I have what it takes? Yes. But here's the precise tension I face. Because on the earthly front, on the organizational front, I have what it takes. I have good friends who are leading organizations who come to me and say, Edmund, you lead, we are right behind you. One example is Tim Eddington. Tim Eddington is one of the top leaders in the Evangelical Free Church of America. He leads a huge host of missionaries under the banner of the Evangelical Free Church. He's the boss. And because he's the boss of the Free Church Mission, he has other connections in his network. So I went to Tim and said, Tim, I'm doing this global alliance. Could you help me? So that we can bring the church together in this. Could you send somebody good, somebody top, somebody who can make a difference to be part of this steering committee so we can run this? And Tim, I was in Japan with him and having breakfast, and he said, you want somebody top? I said, yes. You want somebody who can make decisions? Yes. Somebody who can lead, somebody who influence? Yes. You're talking about me. And I'll be behind you. Count me in. Now, he's a very busy man. He doesn't need more meetings. But in one breakfast, he said, count me in. I'll be behind you. I'll swing the whole Free Church missionary and everything else. We will support you. I'm grateful. Do I have the context? Yes. Resources? Yes. Know-how? Yes. Know how to push the buttons? Yes. Can I do it? I can't. If you have all these things, why can't you do it? Because the job is greater than these resources, and I'll be falling into the deception of the evil one to think that just because of human alliances and pushing the right buttons, the job can be done. I went up to the mountain and I prayed and I wept. Wept is a good word because it comes with convulsions and tears. I wept for the country of Japan. Because the Lord put it upon my heart. I don't plan to go to Japan. I don't plan my steps. 5 years from now I'll go here, 2 years from now I'll go here. I don't do that at all. I believe in divine appointments. When the Lord gave upon my heart Japan, I wept for a simple reason. Japan is a hard ground because of a mindset that has become a stronghold of the evil one. Whether the Japanese leaders know it or not, it is a stronghold. I am grateful that I think in July I'll be going to Japan to teach and speak about discipleship and hopefully make a difference. But I recognize with all the buttons I can push, all the contacts I have, all the know-how, nothing will change in Japan. Why? A spiritual stronghold. Our battle is not flesh and blood. Our battle is spiritual. So if you ask me, can I organize things for Japan? Can. Can I make a difference and make an impact? Can. Can I change the spiritual climate? Can. I'm not God, only God. Can I make a difference for the history of the nation? So why do I do what I do? Precisely the question. The only way I know how to do it now is to lay hold of God, which is why I did, Lord. One country at a time. For all the countries the Lord has laid upon my heart to pray for in His mission time, I come and say, I don't know how, I can't. All my resources will fall flat. Only you can. And I really believe it pleases the Father to hear me say, I can't. Not just say, but mean it, know it, understand it, and that He can. So what is the greatest obstacle facing me? Is this very thin line, this great paradox of walking with deep confidence without becoming arrogant, and walking with deep humility without becoming insecure. And I know of only one man who has done it. His name is Jesus. And He tells me to follow Him. And He tells me it can be done. If His life is lived through me. That's the answer. Christ in us, the hope of glory. He can live His life. That's Romans 6, the newness of life that we walk in. So that's the hope I carry. Some who know me best or have attended IDMC conference have heard this before. But let me share with you about how God can make a difference, not us. Because us, I face a lot of obstacles. Not just obstacle of myself, which is really bad, but obstacle of culture and everything else, which is terrible. Any leader who operates outside his own church, in fact, within the church, you need to understand church culture. And outside the church, the cultures are complex. Let me try to succinctly share this episode in my life. I was invited to Korea. So when I was speaking Korea, the Japanese delegates swarmed the place. They have a place like this, and it was completely packed out. The organizers were embarrassed. So they gave me a bigger room because they never expected to be so large a group. And the Japanese delegates all came, and they came with a transistor radio, all translated by one wonderful lady who translated for them. And then at the end, 3 men met me and said, have you spoken in Japan? I said, yes, in Tokyo. No, not Tokyo. They said, Osaka. Osaka is the center of Christianity in Japan. Historic center. Would you consider coming to Osaka? I said, you invite me, I'll pray about it, but the next 2 years I can't because my schedule is packed. At that time, 2 years in advance. Now it's 3 to 5 years in advance, except my son invited me with the navigators behind him. So I said, I can't do it 2 years, but in the 3rd year, I'll pray about it. So 3rd year later, 3 years later, I went. But by the time 3rd year, the leadership had transited, the one who invited me, and the 3 who came to pick me up was unhappy to see me. They don't show their unhappiness, it's a culture thing. Because they came in 3-piece suits. Senior leaders, the youngest is 60 over years old, 63. I was at that time in my 40s, mid-40s. I came in jeans and t-shirt. And so when I came out of the airport, they looked at this young guy in his mid-40s, the youngest, the oldest was 70 plus, the youngest was 63, and all of them senior title, president and chairman of so and so. It's not chairman of one organization, one company. It's chairman of an entire association, a movement. So they sent 3 of the top leaders in 3-piece suit, the most senior, to meet a guy who is in his jeans and t-shirt. And the only title I have is senior pastor of Covenant EFC. That's the only title. So they go like, why would our predecessor invite this guy? So while we were driving 1 hour from the hotel to the airport to the hotel, 1 hour, the younger one who is more fluent in English asked me 3 times on 3 separate occasions. And didn't ask me, tell me, Pastor Chan, you're so young. Tell me. And then he asked me questions like, some credibility question. Where do you do your doctorate? Oh, I don't have my doctorate. It's like, why do we invite a guy who doesn't have his doctorate? Because the last person they invited was Choyonggi. That was the first Asian they invited. Choyonggi go and scold them, scold the Japanese. Koreans scold Japanese, they can't tahan. So when they heard me speak in Korean, the soft, gentle pastor, they said, that's the voice we need, that's the leadership voice. So they invited me. That was